Hey guys, and welcome to the It's a King Theme podcast with Miss Ray. And I'm Ray, of course. How are y'all doing? Listen, I didn't have no voice for a week. Your girl was going through it, but she's back. Still got a little nasaliness going on, these allergies, but I am good. God is amazing. He shows up in just the nick of time, right on time, every time. He's never late. And let the church say amen. Ha ha ha. Anyway, guys, I have to talk to you about domestic violence today. It has been a very, 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 very stressful about 10 days because domestic violence is completely out of control right now. I mean, out of control. And I just don't understand what's going on. We want to say this person knew better or that person knew better, or, I mean, you don't never know when that person's going to flip on you. I'm really just trying to wonder, were there signs like it comes out of nowhere? Literally, it comes out of nowhere. But the catch is, when do you get out? When do you run? My evil twin asked a question yesterday. She said, was that today? Anyway, she said, when is it okay to say I've had enough? When is it okay to say this is just not working? And I had to be honest with her and say, nowadays, it's never a good time to say, I've had enough or I want out. Because it seems like every time somebody says they want out or they've had enough, they wind up a statistic. They wind up getting the dog mess beat out of them or unalive. They wind up being on the news or splattered across social media because they said, I've had enough. When did it become so dangerous to say, I don't want to do this anymore? That's what's really taking me out right now. If I say, I don't want to be with you anymore, you unalive me, you attack me, you damage my body, you damage my face, you do permanent damage to me, or like I said, you unalive me. And how is that fair? How is that okay? Why is it that I have to stay in a relationship with you or you're going to unalive me? When did this all take place? I watched and read and researched about this man who I will not say his name because he doesn't deserve the respect to go shoot his current wife and try to unalive her, go over to his baby's mother's home and unalive 8 of his children, and then unalive the mother of those children. What in the world? What on earth? Then they want to say, well, he was in the army. So what? He was in the army. He never saw battle. He never was in one of those third world countries protecting and serving. So I don't want to hear he was in the army. What does that mean exactly? We are not giving him any excuses for what he did. Absolutely, unequivocally, no excuses are we giving him. Not a single one. One child climbed on a roof and jumped off to save his life. Can you imagine the sheer fear those children felt? The officer said that you could see where the children were running for their lives and you continue to unalive them. What in all the world is going on today? It just, it sickens me to my stomach the way that he did those children. Now, mind you, his wife and him have only been married 2 years, and she wanted a divorce. She wanted a divorce. He had told his mother and stepfather that he was hearing demons and having these thoughts. But I don't think they ever would have thought that he would have killed his children. I just, what? What was it? But if you looked at him, because I looked at him, he looked like something was wrong with him. If you just looked at some of the pictures, he looked like something was wrong. He had this look on his face, so a look in his eyes. He looked like he was feeling something. People say, you don't go out with this person, that person. Sometimes when I see somebody and they got a look in their eye, it's just this look. I get this like the hair on the back of my neck stands up, and I turn and run for the hills because I can't. Like I've had literally one experience where someone hit me, and luckily for me, I had a crazy brother, and I was dating a cop at the time. That is the only thing that saved me from having to do what was necessary to be done. But believe me when I say I don't play the touch game. Don't put your hands on me. Don't do that. Like don't do that. I don't hit you, so don't you hit me. Let's have that understanding. I feel like you should be allowed to say, I no longer want to be in this relationship without fear of being unalived or your kids being unalived or anything of that sort. Like I feel like people nowadays are unfortunately unable to be true and authentic with who they are for fear of being unalived by their mate. It is such a sad state of affairs to feel that way, but that is where we're at right now because at this point, it's dangerous to say, I don't want to be with you. You have people coming to your homes. You have people busted out the windows on your car. Jasmine Sullivan, no dig. Um, you have people coming to your job and unaliving you, coming to your parents' house, unaliving your parents because they're mad at you because you no longer want to be in a relationship with them. What on God's green earth is going on? Whatever happened to I'm gonna go cry in this ice cream, or I'm gonna go cry in this liquor, and then I'm gonna go find me somebody else. Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to the best way to get over one is to get another one? Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to I'm gonna go out and spend a whole lot of money, I'm gonna go gambling, or I'm gonna go do something reckless, but I'm not gonna harm you or anybody else because I'm upset because you don't want to be with me anymore. What is going on? And these poor people, because it's not just women, men are also subjected to domestic violence. I need us to be clear about that. There are 25% men being subjected to domestic violence experiences. Yes, it's 75% women, but there are still 25% of men that are being abused in relationships. Or how about you are in a relationship, you're cheating, and the girl comes and kills your wife because she wants you. Man, what made you think you was gonna get him because you killed his wife? What made you think that was gonna work? If he wanted you, he would leave the wife for you. But you came mad at the wife because he hadn't left her for you. Are you dumb? How are you mad at this woman because you're cheating with her husband? Are you dumb? I just want to know, are you dumb? You over here cheating with this man's wife, I mean, cheating with this woman's husband, Mad at her because he haven't left her for you. You sound crazy. Everything about that is wrong. Nothing about that is right. You are absolutely unequivocally out of your mind if you think that anything that you're saying or doing to this woman is right because she is his legally, lawfully wedded wife. And you are the side piece, the side chick, the jump off, whatever you want to be called, that's what you are. And here's a little tidbit for you side pieces and mistresses and all that. Stop trying to get that man to leave his wife for you. Play your position. If you're okay with being the mistress and the side piece, then stay being the mistress and the side piece. Stop going around and trying to destroy this man's marriage because you knew he was married when you got with him. You knew this. So why are you trying to mess it up? Because now it's a whole situation. Because now she wants a divorce. This man is mad because you done messed up his livelihood. You done messed up his meal ticket. Now he got to pay child support, spousal support, alimony, pay the household bills in the house he can't stay in, and he mad. Not to say this was their issue. I'm just saying. When you're a mistress and a girlfriend and a side piece, please play your position. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. And when he's ready to leave, if he's ready to leave, he will leave. But you cannot push him to leave for you. It's not going to work. It becomes dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. I have looked at the statistics and it is staggering. The FBI states over a 5-year period, domestic violences have increased. There are 11,000 domestic violence murders. 11,000. And an additional 1.1 million victims of domestic violence. 1.1 million victims of domestic violence. 75% of that is women. 25% of that is men. So yes, it's mainly women that are domestic abuse victims. However, there are men that are just as abused as women. And how many of those, let's just say, that don't report it? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how many of those men won't report it because they're embarrassed. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like we can't act like, you know, they don't count because they do. But some of them aren't going to tell because they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed. I'm a man. I can't believe I let this woman put her hands on me. I'm not about to go in there and they ain't gonna embarrass me because I was a man. They gonna say, well, you couldn't stand up for yourself or you couldn't do this, you could have. Men do not want that stigma on them. So they're not gonna even report that they were abused by their woman, their wife, their girlfriend, their significant others. It's a staggering amount of men that are being abused by women. And then let's talk about the teenage relationship domestic violence survivors and abusers. They said 12 and under, the age of 12 and below, there are 349 victims in 2024. And there's 124 offenders that was under that was the age of 12 and under. 124 offenders under the age of 12? Are you out of your mind? If you don't go sit down and play a video game or something, are you kidding me right now? Let's look at the 16-year-olds. 16-year-old victims, 6,079. 4,417 offenders that were 16 years old. So you got 16-year-olds out here beating up their girlfriends. How many did I say? 4,417. 16-year-olds are out here beating up their significant others, their girlfriends and boyfriends. Because you're not even old enough to be a damn significant other. Hell, you can't even buy your own dinner, pay your own bills, pay your cell phone bill, buy your clothes. You can't pay a car note because you can't have a car because you're only 16. Like, are you out of your minds right now? What is going through these children's head that are making them abuse these girls? Then they said 18-year-olds. At the age of 18, there are 15,659 domestic violence victims. There are 13,138 domestic violence offenders. These stats are staggering. They're staggering. Then they said in 2020, almost 30% of the domestic violence assaults were with a gun. And by 2024, it had rose to 36% domestic violence with guns. Now, people can say gun reform and gun control. That's not it. The guns aren't doing it. It's the people holding the guns that are doing it. I need everybody to quit complaining about gun control. We need better gun control. It's not gun control. They need to control the people that's getting the guns, that are legally walking into these stores or they're buying them from wherever. What is possessing you to take this gun and point it at another human being? What? Why? What is going on in the crevices of your mind that makes you do these things? Let's talk about, not only did he kill his 8 children, let's talk about the little beautiful, what was her? She was an influencer. She was over in Africa and she was celebrating her birthday, 32 years old, or just I think 30, 31, 32 just turned. And she got engaged. The man asked her to marry him, and she's thinking life is good, life is great, all right. They get into some type of altercation. Don't know what the altercation was because wasn't nobody there but them and God. Okay, they got into an altercation. Next thing you know, she's unalived and tried to say it was suicide, but then it turns out it wasn't suicide. Allegedly, they still trying to figure it out. I'm just saying. My question was, did you have any thought that this man was crazy? Was there any inkling? Was there anything that he done that made you think that he may snap and hurt you? Like, at what point do you think there's got to be something that you can see that a switch trips in that person that they had the capacity to do something to harm you? You get the spirit says something to you. The hair stands on the back of your head. I mean, on the back of your neck. Something tells you that he might hurt me. But then we ignore it. He wouldn't do that to me. He loves me. He would never do such things to me. He might have done it to you, but he wouldn't do it to me. I'm different, and all the things that we tell ourselves. That's bullshit. We are no better than the other one. If he would do it to one, he would do it to another. Let us be clear about that. We are not better than the last one. He choked out, put out, kicked, spit on, disrespected, talked bad to. We are no better than that person. We're not. Why do we think that, oh, that won't happen to me? Because it will. So now this beautiful woman is deceased. And you wonder what happened that night after you guys got engaged and got into the argument or whatever happened that made y'all get into this little altercation where they had to separate y'all, and now she's unalived. And then let's talk about the lieutenant governor, the ex-lieutenant governor that unalived his wife and then unalived himself. Hot damn. Now you gonna tell me y'all knew he was a bad man, right? Y'all knew he was crazy. Y'all knew that he had the capacity to kill. Y'all knew, everybody knew, right? What seems to be the going little caveat between two out of the three of the cases I just talked about was these women wanted a divorce. Lieutenant governor was going through a divorce. The young lady in Louisiana wanted a divorce. And then these men unalived them. And again, I go back to the question that my friend said, and she said, when is it okay to leave? At this rate, you scared to leave because you're afraid that he's going to do something to you. So when you get ready to leave, you can't tell nobody but God. You got to keep acting like nothing is wrong. You got to put on your best Oscar winning performance, like everything is perfect in that house until you can get out safely, never to return and to be seen again by that person if you are in fear for your safety. You have got to protect yourself. Don't say nothing to nobody but God. Don't write nothing down for fear it may get found. Like you're going to have to be in such a stealth mode to plan this out that I have some resources for you. You can go to www.thehotline.org. So that's www.thehotline.org. You can call 800-799-7233. Or you can text START. You can text START to the number 88788 and they will help you. They will help you. And it doesn't matter what state you're in, that is a nationwide hotline to help you. I just don't know what to say. I think about that young lady in Africa and how her parents were on camera and they were crying, trying to figure out what happened to their child. I think about the lieutenant governor that unalived his wife and their children were in the home. Those children will never be the same again. I think about those 8 babies that did not get to pick who their daddy was, that unalived them, and all they ever probably wanted to do was love him. 8 little bodies gone for nothing that they did. They did absolutely nothing to deserve what he did to those children. And the mother of those children, I'm not sure what type of relationship they had ongoing, but it did not matter. It didn't matter what type of relationship that they had. You had no right to get your rusty, dusty tail up at 8 o'clock, excuse me, at 6 o'clock in the morning and start unaliving people. If you were that unhappy, you should have just unalived yourself and let the day continue on. But for you to get up there, shoot your wife, who is currently in critical condition, and then last time I checked, let me say that last time I checked, she was in critical condition, fighting for her life, and then go over to your mother of your children's home and kill her and the children, and the one child that survived jumped, leaped, tried to sprout wings and fly to live, jumping off the roof, landing and breaking bones, but he's going to live. Now, you know how much fear that was to jump off the roof, trying to survive your daddy trying to kill you? He will never be the same. I am so devastated at the sheer carnage that was left at that home, the devastation of the mother's parents, of the wife's parents, of the children's grandparents. I would say of his parents, but don't nobody care about that man. You unalived your children. The children you laid there and created and took care of, it was supposed to groom and grow and build and mold into thriving adults, it's productive adults in society. And you went there and unalived them for what reason? And then had the nerve, the unmitigated gall, the audacity to not unalive yourself. Oh no, you weren't gonna do that because you was a coward. You was a coward. Then you went and carjacked somebody and took off in their car. And then the police unalived you. I you know, to the pits of hell you will go, and may your eternal life be not pleasant at all. One thing I can say, I try to find something positive. I don't think that mother would have survived if her kids would have been unalived and she would have lived. I think she would have went crazy and probably unalived herself somewhere down the line, because I can't imagine living without my children. Like, I'm sitting here literally nauseous at the thought of you unaliving those children that all they did was love you. I'm literally nauseous that you went there, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning, so 90% of the time they probably sleep because it was on a Sunday. So they didn't have school, so they weren't up unless they were about to get up and get ready for church. But at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they're in their homes, so they're supposed to be safe. And you went there and destroyed their safety. That child that lived will never be the same. He will probably never be able to feel safe again. But that mother, she's now in heaven with her children because you took it upon yourself to put her there with her children, and then ran like the coward that you are. That's just, I don't, I just, y'all, I'm so sick of what's going on in this world today. I just don't even know where to think about when people do these heinous, disgustingly foul, vile things to other people. The lieutenant governor unaliving his wife in the home where your children are in the home. You didn't even have the courage to take her somewhere else. You did it while your kids are in there. Your kids will never be the same. Did you stop to think about that at all? About your children? Of course not. I will give you this though. I'll give you the fact that you took your own life. I'll give you that one. Kudos to you for that. You didn't run like a coward like the other guy did. I'll give you kudos for that. But you have ruined your children's lives. They'll never be the same. They'll never be the same. They will never forget what was going on in the house at that time. They will never forget what they heard. And they will probably, and God hope they didn't see anything, because I haven't even researched the in depthness of that case, because I couldn't take anymore, y'all. I couldn't. When I was reading about those children and how the resource person said, and you could tell the children were running for their lives. And because I did crime scene investigation, I can imagine in my head what it looked like in there, and all I could do is just be sick to my stomach. How them babies was running. The youngest one was 3 years old. 3 years old. 3 years old? Baby. I'm sick, y'all. I'm sick. But I want you guys to pray, be safe, watch your back, If you are in trouble, if you need to get out of a relationship, dial 1-800-799-7233. Text START to 88788. Go to www.thehotline.org. If you're feeling suicidal, if you're feeling hopeless, dial 988 on your cell phone. Send me a message, send me a tweet, inbox me on Instagram. Everything is It's a King Thing 2021. I will respond. Just don't give up. Don't give out. I'm going to go, guys. I'm praying for you. I'm praying that you have peace that surpasses all understandings. You have an amazing day. And if you don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. Lord, please stop doing that. Shout out to my girl Tabitha Brown. Here's some Rays from Ray. Woo! I love you guys. Take care of yourself and thank you for watching and listening to It's the King Thing podcast.